You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
We are thrilled to kick off the second annual Lawn Tourpreneur Series and highlight some of the best and brightest up-and-comers in the lawn and landscaping industry. We're interviewing 6 launchpreneurs across the country, highlighting their success as we share their inspiring story with you. Thank you to our sponsors, Echo, Equip, and Staybill for partnering with us on this exciting tour. Don't forget to check out the correlating equipment tour videos for each of our guests on the Brian's Lawn Maintenance YouTube channel, airing every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Brian here, and I am super excited about bringing you guys this awesome interview and kickoff to the 2023 Lawn Tourpreneur Series that we're doing across the country, interviewing 6 teenagers and guys that are younger in the business but are making a huge name for themselves and absolutely crushing it. Hey, before we jump on into it here, I want to say a big shout out and thank you again to the tour sponsors, which are Equip Expo, Echo, and Staybill. A lot of you guys know those brands, and we absolutely love them. We use them in our business for the most part, pretty much every single day, every single year, of course, to winterize our equipment, to keep our hand tools moving with Staybill, to use our trimmers and blowers from Echo, and of course, we attend the green industry's largest conference and expo, which is the Equip Conference and Trade Show down in Louisville, Kentucky. And so we cannot wait to see so many of you guys there, October 17th through the 20th. Don't forget to register with promo code Brian to save 50% off. That being said, guys, we have the second annual tour here, like we were just saying a quick second ago, and I couldn't be more impressed with all the different guys that I've been interviewing across the fruited plain. They are young, they are kicking butt, and they are full of just fire and just have great attitudes, and their businesses are booming. We're going to kick it off with our inaugural guest, and this is a younger guy. A lot of you guys know DJ from Instagram. This is a second-gen family business, but don't think it was just given to DJ or anything like that, or he took over some, large, million-dollar outfit or operation. In fact, he tells the story about how when he got started with his dad and really got serious about the business the last 5 or 6 years, they were running just a few guys and just one single mow crew. And since then, they went to 10 to 15 guys, and they have 3 or 4 crews going. Just a crazy, awesome story here with how much growth they've had. And really, DJ coming on board, helping his dad, was the catalyst for all this recent growth the last 4 or 5 years. What an incredible story that he's going to be sharing here in just a quick minute. So without further ado, I just wanted to put on a quick little bumper here and let you guys know that we have 6 tours coming over the next 6 weeks on Monday with all the different teenagers. Some of them are 17, 18, 19. Some are 21, 22, but they got started, at 15, 12, 13 years old, that whole deal. And so make sure you guys come back every Monday for the next 6 weeks. It's going to be super awesome to hear all these guys' stories. One last thing, if you guys want to head on over at 3 p.m. Eastern on Mondays, we're going to do the correlating shop tour and equipment setup with all these guys on the Brian's Lawn Maintenance YouTube channel. Had a ton of fun getting to see the behind the scenes of some of these guys' trucks and trailers and rigs and equipment, and some of them have shops, and it's absolutely impressive. I'm telling you what, make sure you guys are buckled in because it is going to be an incredible ride, an incredible journey seeing all of this success. And that's something I really wanted to do, is spend a little bit of time with our platform highlighting the younger crowd and showing the 10, 12, 15 years old group that want to get started with a lawn and landscaping business. Hey, here's where you can be in just a handful of years. And I also want to motivate the snot out of you 30-year-olds out there, like myself, some of us that are old hats, and say, man, look what these young kids are doing. I mean, they have no fear. They are reinvesting like crazy. They're doing it right. And it just provides a little bit of motivation for us to maybe get our stuff together too. Just having some fun. Any which way, DJ, can't wait to have you share your story here, man. You guys got an awesome business. It was a pleasure getting to meet your dad. You guys just have it going on there down in Sylvania, Ohio with Aldrich Landscape. So without further ado, let's kick it over to the interview with my boy, DJ, and we will catch up with you guys here in just a quick second. How you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing so good, man. It's been a busy couple of days, busy couple of weeks. You and I were just talking so much before we shot the shop tour video, after the shop tour video, just a lot of life, man, a lot of growth, a lot of good things happening.
Oh yeah.
but busy as hell. Yeah.
Yep, to say the least.
That's awesome, man. How's things going with you, man? It's been a while since we were able to catch up in person, but I think last time I saw you was at Equip. You were digging a hole to China in that. What machine was that? SK 1550?
Yeah. It was the big ditch witch stand on.
The big one.
Yeah, the real big one.
Yeah.
And I was digging pretty deep with it.
Well, I go to the ditch witch folks. You know, it's all like you got to sign waivers and get in line, and I'm hopping over yellow tapes because I'm the YouTube guy, right? So I hop over the tape, and I'm like, "You mind?" And the guy goes, "I don't care. It's Friday." And so I run out there, and I got my little GoPro, and I'm like getting around this. Dude, I don't even know. The SK 1550 is huge. It's the size of a skid.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, it's giant. And I'm like, yeah, guys, this guy's digging a hole to China and all this mess. And you turn around and you go, hey, what's up, Brian? I'm like, oh, shoot, it's DJ. I'm like, what up, though? Like, how you been, dude? So that's the last time I got to see you in person. But what's new since then, man? How you guys been?
Good, man. Just working our butts off. We've had a pretty good year so far. Not a lot of employee problems, which is nice.
Knock on wood.
But yeah, knock on wood. But other than that, just working our butts off, trying to grow, trying to get better. And, same old. Same old.
That's good. Well, so we just got done doing the shop tour, and you're part of the teenager shop tour series, a law entrepreneur series, we're calling it. We're doing 6 teenagers throughout the state, in the country. I got some different folks in New York, some folks in Atlanta, Georgia area. You're over here in, is this Toledo technically still?
It's Sylvania. It's a suburb.
Sylvania.
Toledo's kind of a crap hole.
Kind of sketch.
Yeah, if you go probably about 25 minutes east, you'll hit Toledo.
Yeah.
And then it's not bad there, but it gets worse and worse as you go to like downtown.
Okay. Yep. Out this way, it looks a lot nicer.
Yeah, this is the suburbs. It's cool.
I was driving past some homes. There's some beautiful estate properties just down the road.
It's a really nice mix of just a lot of like average neighborhoods, and then you get into some really big ones.
Okay.
But, it's a good mix here, nice healthy mix, and it's all like kind of intertwined with each other. So it's not like you get the rich side and then the poor side. It's all
peppered
very
together.
mixed in. Yeah.
That's cool. Well, and then that's the thing too. I mean, I know Toledo, gets a bad rap like Dayton or Detroit, and some can be a little bit more rough, So some folks, this was my thing when I was watching your Instagram and I got to know you a couple of years ago. I'm like, Toledo, Ohio, Pennsylvania, or not Pennsylvania, Sylvania. Yeah. I'm like, where is this guy at? I'm like, doing properties like that? There's some dissonance there, you know what I mean, with Toledo. But this neck of the woods, it's beautiful. It's very green, very lush, a lot of trees.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that when I was driving through. I'm like, my gosh, this is awesome. And that makes sense for all the leaf cleanup videos you guys do in the fall with 10 guys on a property and the Skag windstorms and all that mess.
Yeah, and if I took you to some neighborhoods around here, like what you're seeing around my shop is like these aren't a lot of trees. Some of these neighborhoods are just completely covered.
Is that right?
Almost no sunlight.
Whoa.
They're cow. Just like we have Ottawa Hills, which is it's just right outside of Sylvania, and it's just massive, super old trees.
Okay.
And it gets pretty crazy over there in the fall. So
that's awesome. That's awesome, man. Well, so let's zoom out really quick, man, because some people know you, some people don't know you. I think we did do a podcast 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think we've done 2 by now.
At least 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Because I loved highlighting your story and everything you got going on, but a lot has changed the last couple of years. You were in the shop tour video explaining how you're second gen. Your dad started this company 30-some plus years ago?
Yeah, 1988. Officially in 1988. He was doing like little side stuff before that.
Okay.
Just a quick backstory. My mom's family, they owned a restaurant. And when my mom and my dad met, I think he was like a busboy in the restaurant. And then he slowly started to, want to do a little bit more. And I believe he started his business with literally like he borrowed a chainsaw, cut up a couple down trees, and then started selling firewood out of like an old station wagon.
Is that right?
And then he was able to afford a push mower, and he just went on from there. He literally super proud of like where he's come from. It's awesome because I wish he was here today to actually tell his story, but
he had to get going. He had to go get his firework display ready.
Yeah, but he literally he came from absolutely nothing.
That's so cool.
Unfortunately, he didn't have a dad around growing up, so he kind of like my grandpa taught him some stuff because he knew business things. Mm-hmm. But all the lawn and landscape stuff he learned on his own or from friends. And
wow,
he came from nothing and made a very successful business out of it. And growing up, me and my sister had a very comfortable life. We were spoiled. I'm not gonna lie. He wasn't like super rich or anything, but he made sure we were taken care of. Travel, sports.
Cool.
We always had nice clothes and just taken care of, family vacations, and he's made a great life for us out of this business.
That's awesome, man.
Literally starting from nothing, which is awesome.
Don Sr., right?
Yep.
And I got to meet him for just a quick minute. The pleasure was all mine. He was an awesome dude, funny guy. We were just cutting up, talking shop. Kind of what you'd expect, like, you know, like us all in our 50s or 60s, you know. I hope to be as quick and funny as your dad. He was a really, really cool dude. And again, seriously, if he happens to listen to this show, thanks for opening up the shop and taking time to let me come on down here, because I don't take this for granted either, even though I'm only an hour and 20 minutes up the road. You know, I try to be as respectful as people's time and calendar and, you know, what you guys got going on. So big thanks to you guys for opening this whole place up.
Of course.
So let's talk about we're going to talk a little bit about the shop. You guys can watch the correlating video on the Brian's Law Maintenance YouTube channel later tonight. We should be releasing that around 3 p.m. Eastern time. But tell me a little bit more about the company. I mean, you guys have grown so much the last 4 or 5 years. I've seen it, you know, on Instagram. I'm like, oh, they got a new truck, or I don't remember those windstorms before. Now they got 1 or 2 of them, growing every single day. So how has it been growing up with your dad, you know, kind of maybe Aldrich Landscape 1.0, and then I don't know, like if you'd call it like 2.0 since you came on board, you know, a handful of years ago. But man, you're in the shop tour video, you're like, hey, we had like, what it was like, you know, enough clients, one or 2 trucks, and, you know, 1 or 2 mowers. It was not a small outfit, but it's not what it is today, right?
Yeah,
and so you've been like a second wind to the company. So you wanna crack that egg open? What's that whole story like?
Yeah, so we're a full service lawn landscape company. We do fertilizing, irrigation, hardscaping, like small tree trimming, snow in the winter. Yeah, and then obviously like landscape design, construction, and maintenance, and then mowing during the year. And growing up. Basically, my dad, like, he had enough to just kind of like get by, and then he had the extra to, like, you know, live comfortably. He wasn't doing anything crazy. He was working, you know, 40 hours a week. Sure. And he had enough for him. And as soon as I started to get in the business, I told him, you know, I want to try growing a bigger business. I'm super young. I can put in the hours. And when I started, we had about 72 clients, I think. I'm pretty sure I remember exactly 72 mowing clients. Okay. And we did, you know, full service for a lot of them. One crew, kind of? It was one mowing crew. It was 3 guys. And honestly, they were slacking a lot. Okay. So when I started mowing first year, we were working like 30 hours a week for the first like month, because they were taking so long, milking the clock. Wow. And then we had one landscape crew. We had, I think, including my dad's truck, 3 or 4 trucks. Okay. Okay. And then I came on full time. He bought me a new stand-on mower, which was our first stand-on. And the machine was it was such a nice machine. It cut so well. Stripes were perfect. And we picked up like 40 accounts our first year. Wow. And we needed to hop into 2 crews for mowing for at least a year, but I couldn't find any, you know, the problem was finding somebody to run another crew. Mm-hmm. And I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, I finally found somebody good to run a second crew. So we have around 190 accounts right now, I believe. Okay. And 2 mowing crews, 3 guys each crew. They range from $50 to cuts that are well over $100, some bigger properties. I think our average is probably $80, $90 a cut. Okay. Just because we have some bigger high-end properties. Yeah, yeah. And then we run 1 to 2 landscape crews. It just depends on what we have going on. And then we usually have a full-time irrigation fertilizing guy. Okay, okay. And so how many full-time guys technically, your total, if you will? Including me, 15, I believe. And then my dad does all the estimates. He's been out of the field for years now, just running business. Sure. And we've been able to actually grow really because I'm working in the business and also on it at the same time. And then he's able to go out and actually sell the jobs. Yeah. And then we also have my mom and my girlfriend in the office full time, which is like that's still full time, 40 hours, 2 people. Like keeping it all together. Yeah, and they're pretty busy in there. And thank God my girlfriend was able to come on and help. She picked up everything really fast. Yep. And I felt bad. Before she was here, I had my mom working like 55 hours a week. Like she was grinding in the office. She just too much to keep up with for one person. Yeah. And it's very evenly split now. My mom's much happier, and she loves having her around also, which makes it great. That's awesome. So, but you know, it's growing pains. It's it's a family company, family business, but it's a growing pain. Like, what was your dad's thoughts when you said, "Hey, you know, you've been poking this thing with a stick. You know, let me take over. I got a fresh set of legs. I want to run." Was there hesitancy? Where it was like, "Hey, I tried that. I grew and I reverted back." Like, what was his thought process there? Do you have any idea there? So honestly, him and I, for probably a good year and a half, 2 years, like we butted heads really hard a lot.
Okay.
Because he's been doing it for so many years already, and it's always worked. What he's done has always worked for him.
Okay.
So for, me to come in, this young kid, I think I'm on top of the world and know everything, and I'm like, oh, like I'm going to try this. I want to try this. And he'd tell me no, and I would do it anyways. But the thing is, I was learning a lot of the stuff from like YouTube videos. I met some really, really good friends like over Instagram. One, his name is Alex. I've been friends with him for like 7 years. He's from Wisconsin. And he's like 28 years old. He taught me a lot of little tips on mowing and this and that. And I came here, or I took like those words, I applied it into our business, and it worked. And once he started realizing like what I was doing a little different was working, he kind of like took a step back and he's like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna let you do your thing. And he's very old school. He's not into social media, so he doesn't see all like, the new things that come out or the new techniques and this and that. And I do. So I've been applying it to the business, and at first he was hesitant about it, but then he started to see the results from it.
Well, what's the advice? I mean, can you share? What was his encouraging words?
Just like little tips on mowing, like physical things to do.
Oh, okay.
Just like certain things. I'd talk to him because he worked for like a really big company, so he'd tell me like horror stories,
Oh yeah.
And then I'd like almost like learn lessons through him, and it just kind of all worked out in the end.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So as you're talking to your dad, and you're like, hey, I want to grow this thing. Are you guys at where you thought you would be, or where you wanted to go? Like, what was the grand vision that you had? All this spunk, to like build something bigger. Like, what were you trying to build to or get to? Was it a revenue goal? How many guys goal? How many crews goal? Like, what did you want to do with the company? What was the vision? Are you guys there yet? That whole story.
So honestly, I really didn't have like a set goal in mind.
Okay.
I just kind of wanted to, every year we do bigger and better than the last year.
Okay.
And no goal, nothing. As long as we were doing better and we were still either profiting more or the same, whatever it was, as long as we were doing better than the year before, like that's what I wanted to see. And, there's huge companies out here, 10, 15 crews, and, it's not necessarily something I want unless I can get there in a certain way, just because I said we're all about quality. And the quality control is difficult once you get so many employees.
Right.
And even now, like, I'm still on these guys all day long, and like they're pretty good about it, but they slip up here and there. Just because, they don't have the same mindset as we do.
Yeah.
But we're, in my opinion, like way past what I thought we would be at now. And we have certain goals that we want to hit in the future. And my dad loves doing this still, but I'm trying to slowly push him and my mom to, finally retire. They've been doing it forever.
Yeah.
Working their butts off, and they deserve it.
Yeah.
And they're getting up there in age, and I want them to be able to, and not calling. I know my mom's gonna be listening to this. Not calling you guys old, but I want you guys to be able to, like relax and enjoy life, because they've worked their butts off their whole lives.
Yeah. So, I mean, they've been doing it for 35, 40 years, you're saying.
Yeah. And it's been a grind the whole time.
Oh yeah.
And especially the last 6-7 years, as we've gotten bigger, they've worked, even my dad, just doing estimates and running and getting parts. He's coming home tired at the end of the day. And it's kicking his butt, and he's not even doing anything physically hard anymore. But it's just a lot to deal with.
Entrepreneurs, the success of your business depends on your lawn care equipment. If it's not working, neither are you. Keep your mowers, blowers, and all of your other outdoor power equipment running smoothly on the power of the American-made Stable brand. Stable makes premium additives and performance chemicals that help you get the best out of your equipment so that you can return quality work to your growing list of customers. Products like 360 Protection will clean your mower's fuel system with one treatment, and Fast Fix will correct rough-running engines when you're in a pinch. The entire product line undergoes thorough testing, and they are backed by OEMs because they work together to develop industry-leading solutions. Head to stable.com, STA-BIL.com, because at Stable, there's no off-season. Not as long as there's money to be made in the lawn care game.
The main thing is, I didn't really know I didn't know a lot of the landscape stuff before. So I was finally able to find somebody to run my mowing crew this year.
Okay.
And now I'm running a landscape crew, and it's different for me now because I get more like the business owner perspective. I'm juggling running the mowing crews with not being there, and I get to start seeing what he has to deal with. And I mainly just need to learn I need to learn my plants now, and then some of the estimating, and I kind of have it all down after that.
That's cool. What you're 24 now, you said, right?
Yeah.
So what's it been like the last 4 or 5 years, going from working on the mow crew, cutting grass with the guys, to now working on the business, they say, not in the business, that whole deal. Yeah. So when I pulled up, you're like, dude, what we're paying just for payroll and taxes and fuel, you're like, this is ridiculous, and I'm like, yeah, bro, like, yeah, obviously we're all in that same boat. We're like, welcome to the jungle. So a lot of younger guys, listening to the show, they're 15, 18, 20, just getting their company started or thinking about starting a company. So what have you learned working in the business? What are some of your lessons working on the business? What's some of your takeaways?
So I'm going to be honest, I don't perfectly know our numbers.
Sure.
I know my mom and my girlfriend know a lot more than I do about it because they see it every day.
Sure.
But just know, like, when you're pricing stuff, like I'm good at pricing lawns. I go up, I look at it, I can tell how long they're going to be there for.
Right.
My dad, on the other hand, he's been doing it for so long, like, even if he goes to like estimate a mulch job, he's looking at it. He's counting in his head how many yards it's going to take. I need to learn how to measure everything out so I can get accurate measures. He's always spot on. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
He'll look at something. He'll be like, yep, 30 yards of mulch. We'll show up and we'll use 30 yards of mulch.
Is that awesome?
It's incredible. I need to learn how to measure that out. And then just make sure when you're pricing, don't price it to get the job. Price it to make money on it. Because at the end of the day, like, what's the point of going out and doing work and you come home and you have almost nothing from it, Nothing
to show for it.
Because this is a pretty tough profession and we're out there working hard. And especially once you get into employees, you're going to realize, like, you're going to have to pay them probably more than what they're worth. They're going to be good guys, but they still make their mistakes. And for you to go out and make money with employees with you, like, you need to know your numbers and know how you're pricing and know how to, no, you got to know how to lead a business too. That's the thing. Don't just be the boss. I'm out there working with the guys every day still, and they can't tell me, oh, you're not doing this or you're lazy, because I'm out there running circles around them and trying to have them keep up with me and train them to do the things I'm doing. And it's just a big, long process.
Is it a learning curve for you as well? The last couple of years, you're like, oh my God, I never thought I would be doing this or have to think this way. Or
yeah,
I remember you saying you've hired and fired quite a few people. Was that part of your grand vision? You're like, no, dude, we're just going to grow, and then you're dealing with people that no show or call off or make excuses.
I never really thought about that, and especially I remember my first year firing guys. I was kind of cocky about it. I didn't take it the right way. I was almost too quick to fire in some scenarios.
Okay.
And then I learned now, there's been times this year where I could have fired guys, and I learned to pull them aside and have a man-to-man talk with them and figure out what's going on. And usually it's some little issue that you take 5 minutes to talk to somebody, it changes everything, and you get to keep an employee around. And,
yep.
I've just learned as a person how to interact with people a lot, especially with customers nowadays. Because a lot of these customers, they were upset this year that I wasn't mowing anymore.
Okay.
And I told them, if you want to see me, you need to hire us for landscape work. And now we're getting landscape jobs from it just because they want me around. And honestly, the really cool thing to me is because I've done the landscape work before, but all these little details, I'm having some of my landscape foremen teach me along the way.
Sure.
Which is cool because I want to make sure that what they've been doing right for the last few years, and I want to make sure I'm up to par with what they're doing. And then I have little things I can teach the new guys on top of that, and it's just all been working out really well.
You're trying to round out both sides of lawn care and landscaping.
Yeah.
Learn both sides of the company.
Yeah.
And also the office and the administrative side of things.
Yeah, on the lawn side, I'm pretty set with everything. I don't really have much to learn about that. I mean, I could get more specific with my pricing, but what I've been pricing at, we've been making very good profits off of it.
Yeah.
And
I'd say mowing's a lot less challenging than landscaping all day long, obviously.
The hardest part, honestly, is just dealing with the guys when I'm not there. If they have little issues, do I have to run and get something? Do I have to send them to get something? And then on top of that, I mainly just need to learn my plants for the business. That's the not really a struggle I've been having, but I've never been taught like my plant names, and there's so many of them. And this year, my dad's been pretty on me about it, and he's showing up to jobs, walking me through, pointing at everything. And, it's been fun. It's been a lot more fun than the past years because, I was just mowing all day. It was kind of mind numbing.
Put your head down,
Yeah, and now every day I'm learning and I'm doing something different.
It's engaging.
And I'm working my butt off harder than I ever have before, but I enjoy it.
I was saying, we both showed up. I go, hey man, how's it going? You go, dude, I'm tired. And I go, and I'm the same way. I'm like, man, I'm tired, bro. It's been a grind. We get pretty similar weather over here, and we were both dealing with a ton of heat, very dry. Last 2 weeks, a lot of big, powerful rainstorm systems are cutting through, soaking everything. The grass just went boof out of nowhere. We're double cutting, bagging some stuff, and when it calls for it, you guys bag a ton, obviously. So it's like, you know, one of my guys, Ryan, he works for me. He's a great dude. He's our new hire this year. He's pushing me to get a merch line for the YouTube channel, even more than some of the shirts that I have that are with Teespring and all this mess. He's like, dude, you have so many funny quips and stuff like that. And as you guys have heard me say before, one of the T-shirts I want to do is weather, equipment, employees. You know, pick 2.
Yeah.
You know, because like that's all you usually get.
Yeah.
And I always say, like, if the planets align and you get all 3, you better work a 12-hour day and make some money. You know what I'm saying? Like the guys show up, it's a sunny day, and the equipment doesn't break down. Well, praise Jesus, right?
Yeah.
But I'm right there with you. But it's been a lot of just struggles, man, just challenges, and I think it always is going to be that way. It's just entrepreneurship. It's just business ownership. Anytime you're trying to build something or create something, it's going to take a lot of energy to get that rocket to altitude. You know? So
yeah, and something I've realized is like it's literally always something.
Yeah.
It nothing ever goes perfectly 100% smooth. It could be the tiniest little thing. You know, a guy shows up 20 minutes late. Like it's just always one little thing happens, and it's especially once you break into employees. Like the more employees you have, it's stressful. My girlfriend noticed the other day I got a couple of gray hairs on the back of my head already, and she's like, "What?" I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
a little too young for that. But.
Yeah. Well, it's either the snow business or the kids that I'm having, or the house build or the pole barn build. They're starting to pop out like left and right on my head. I'm like, Liz she just makes fun. She goes, you got a couple gray hairs popping out. She goes, you need to chill out a little bit. I go, there's so much more to accomplish. I'm like, we got to keep pushing the envelope forward, you know? So, yeah. But I hear you. They make, some great hair dye. You'll be good to go. So, but let me ask you this. Here's the last one I got. And then kind of, obviously open mic, anything you want to talk about that you think would help the audience or help some of the guys listening to the show. But any takeaways or tips that you want to provide some of these young guys that are maybe just thinking about starting a business. That's really what I wanted to focus on, was showing the shops, showing the equipment set up. You're in a totally unique situation, having a second generation business. The company is, I don't know, doubled or tripled since you came on board. You know, it sounds like the last 5 to 8 years, really hard, hitting it hard with your dad. Mm-hmm. So you're in a unique situation where you're looking to take over this thing, obviously, in the near term or, pretty soon. What would you say to anybody that's in that same boat with you? Maybe their family owns a company and they're looking to take over, or simultaneously, you've done a lot of stuff outside of your dad's business to, hustle on the side. Any tips for those guys that are just getting started in the business?
Yeah, so definitely anybody who's in my position and your parents already own a company, you're getting into it, I would honestly say don't be cocky about it. I realize all the time that I started a business 10 steps ahead of where I should have been, mm-hmm. if not even more. Mm-hmm. And people always say, oh, your daddy's money, like you don't work, but like I work my butt off.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. Oh yeah.
And my dad, I live on my own now. He does not pay for any of my bills. Like I go out and work, and it's just really, I'm very fortunate for being able to start with a business already. Mm-hmm. Most, like I told you, my dad started with literally nothing.
Right.
And I mean, it's not a bad thing because you learn everything from doing that. You have to teach yourself. You learn all the hard times, and once you get to the good times, you realize like where you are. Mm-hmm. And every day I'm super fortunate that I was able to start, 20, 30, 40 steps ahead, and it's made my life a lot easier. And I just know that, we've been through some struggles in the business, of course. It's just part of it. But where we are today, like I'm just thankful, and I always keep a positive attitude about everything, and just looking forward to the future. Keep growing, keep getting bigger, and or scaling back. I've told my dad this too, because he was kind of hesitant about growing so much at first, just because the headache and mm-hmm. more money into the business and blah blah blah. But I always told him that now we're picking up, higher, more expensive clientele. And worst comes to worst, we can downsize and make a killing mm-hmm. with very few people, because we'll have these big full service properties. Like we have one that we're doing next week. It's a 100-yard mulch job. Wow. And we're probably going to spend 2 days there trimming bushes and weeding. Wow. And it's a good job. If I told you the bill for it last year, it's very pricey. Right. And that guy pays a lot of money.
There goes that Corvette. Yep. This is Z06 that went by. It's like half borderline between looking like a hot rod and could be blowing up any second.
It sounds fast.
But it sounds good though. But amen to that. And that's the part of growing, and then you could always trim the fat. Grow and then trim the fat, or get rid of the bottom 10%, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then like especially for the new guys, obviously you're not going to pick up the nicest accounts right away. You're not going to get top dollar everything. Right. But get what you can. to start your business, and as you grow, don't be afraid to let go of clients. Like we had to let go of 3 this year, and they were all very high end, like $1 million houses, but they were 5 minutes further than what I wanted to drive. So we're super tight. I think we only go at most 6 miles from the shop.
That's awesome.
And some of our areas, like Thursday and Friday, half of our Thursday and half of our Friday are right next to each other on the same road.
Okay.
And then we go, 4 minutes away, and then our other half is right there. And I do that so that way they're not stuck in literally one spot all day. And then also, if we're behind from rain, or we want to get ahead of schedule, we can mix and match a little bit. But our route is so dense that, on Monday we're driving past Tuesday accounts. On Tuesday we're driving through Wednesday accounts.
I love that.
It's just all so tied in that we could do it all in a couple of days. I think being behind from rain before, our record was like 74 lawns in a day with 2 crews.
I love it.
And those were our biggest properties. And we were done, an hour before dark.
That's hauling ass.
And we could have stayed out and done more.
Yeah.
But everything's so tight and so dense that we're not driving much.
Yep. And we're in the same boat. If we have like an Equip Expo week, or I got to go to town week, we could totally double up a day. We kill ourselves. Like we've seen the same thing. We did like 60 lawns one time, and I'm like, and people don't believe you, and I'm like, dude, whatever. Like I give a crap. I've spent 5 years trying to convince people, like, no, we work too.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm just like, look, dude, like, what do you want me to tell you? Like, you want me to show you my tax returns? Like, fine, sure, I'll do that too. Like, whatever you want. But it's I've seen you guys' growth. Everybody recognizes that you're putting in work, bro. It's awesome. The whole like daddy's money thing, it's so retarded. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Frankly, if you think about the actual like complaint of that, the goal is to have that.
Yeah.
I want to have my kids have a $40,000 first car. My first car was a sled Hyundai, bro, that if I got T-boned, I would have been a wet spot. You know what I mean? Of course, I'd like to put my kids in. Now, if you're saying daddy's money, like that kid's a prick, or that kid's like not humble, or doesn't have a work ethic, I think that has way more merit than providing your kids nice clothes and a nice first car. Give me a break. But nothing here was given to you. That's a fact.
And even my first truck, it's the silver truck you guys will see on my page.
Yeah.
When I got it, I got it in 2016. It was a 2010, so it was a newish truck.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, like that's so nice. Like I wish my dad bought that, but I paid for most of the truck.
Yep.
Now I will not lie. It was money my grandma left me.
Sure.
Thank you, Grandma. But still, like even that, like my dad gave me a small budget for a first truck. He said, if you want something nicer, you got to make the rest of the money. So I used some money for my grandma, and he's always just made sure, we've had what we need with a little bit of extra. But other than that, it's nothing crazy. He's not going out and buying me a brand new truck. I wish he did.
Right.
It'd be amazing. And my goal one day is if I have kids, I want to be able to spoil the crap out of them.
Amen.
And I want them to get made fun of because, their daddy's making good money. And
I hope
paying
so.
for stuff. It's a flex for the dad,
Hell yeah, dude. I saw an
Instagram
reel that's like, if my kids aren't getting bullied like that, then I didn't do a good enough job.
Yeah.
I hope my kids are like the Trump kids. Are you kidding me? You lie about other things too if you didn't want your kids to be that far ahead. Now, of course, the Trump kids, like in that example, we all know like spoiled wealthy brat kids that like are the most beta whatever, and they can hold a candle to anything. That's not the case. Like the Trump kids to me are a great example of that. I told Liz I was most impressed with total side tangent, but Donald Trump Jr.'s speech at the 2016 RNC. It was the best speech I've ever heard in quite a while. I don't know if you ever heard that, but go check it out on YouTube.
I don't know.
It was great. I mean, he talked about how his dad had him at a construction site, driving skid steers, excavators, all the digging ditches. Like these kids didn't just go from the diapers to the boardroom. That's not how it works. And that's why that's a great kid, great kids, and a great family. And Ivanka, had a $500 million company with her clothing brand, all this other mess. Like, that's the goal, is to have your kids start, like you had said, at level 6, where your mom and dad started at level 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the goal. That's how you progress. I mean, give me a freaking break. So, that being said, you're putting in the work, you're putting in the dues, but you're carrying the torch, you're carrying the family legacy. I think Aldrich Landscape is in good hands, So, any parting thoughts you want to say to the old man? Because he'll probably somehow listen to this. You probably have to get him the audio somehow on his phone, because you said he's pretty low.
I'll have my mom bring it up and he'll listen to it.
He's pretty low tech, and that's okay.
I don't even think he knew what a podcast was before I told him.
Yeah,
so.
he came over. He goes, so you do YouTube? I go, yes, sir. And he goes, I don't watch YouTube. I go, no problem, brother. But anything you want to say to the old man while we got you? Because I was just saying, you guys got a great family legacy going on here. Yeah,
and I just want to say, Mom and Dad, I appreciate you guys for everything you guys have done. I had an amazing childhood growing up, and now that I'm older, I'm still super, super close with my parents. I talk to my mom every day. I Snapchat her all the time. I would with my dad if he knew how to do that.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to, but super close with them still. They give me a great life. They've given me a great business to, dive right into and help take over. And I know as part of that, with me working hard and growing the business, I've been able to actually get back a little bit, and they've been able to, afford like new things. Like he got that new truck, F-150 a couple years ago. My mom got a new car the next year.
That's awesome.
They've been able to live a little bit better from how hard I've been working and like the things he's taught me that I've been able to put into the business, which is great. All comes full circle. Yeah. And one day when it's mine, I think me and my dad have a kind of like a verbal agreement right now. Like we'll figure it out one day, but instead of buying the business up front, I'm going to just basically pay him like a very nice retirement check every month.
Yep.
And it'll all fall full circle then, and they'll be taken care of very well.
I'm sure it'll all work out. It'll all come together.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, good thing it's dark because I think it was getting a little watery-eyed for a quick second. But, dude, you're awesome. You're doing a great job. Proud of you, man. Seriously. Where can people find you, man? We'll button this thing up. I think the storm's about to roll through. Do you feel that breeze that came through?
Yeah.
The temperature just dropped down like 8 degrees.
Yeah, I don't trust the weather system anymore. So I just if it's raining, then it's raining.
Yeah,
if it's not, then I don't care.
But look how much darker it is since we started. I saw the radar earlier. Like storm's about to roll through. More rain that we, it's like when you need the rain, it's not there. Then when you don't need the rain, it's like dumping buckets.
Yep.
I'm like, can we just have a moderate, year for one time in the Midwest? But anyway, not to interrupt. But I love watching your Instagram. You guys got some of the best reels, some of the best clips. Where can people find you, man? And we'll button it up.
So I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Aldrich Landscape. It's ALDRICH Landscape. Mainly active on Instagram, especially if you guys want to reach me. I don't really go on the Facebook, but everything I post on Instagram automatically posts there. So
same here. Yep.
If you guys want to reach me, I'm on Instagram.
Give him a shout.
I try to be good about replying to people, but some days it just doesn't work. So I'll get to you eventually. But if you need anything, let me know.
What are you doing? You're running this multi-million-dollar outfit over here. You don't have time to get back to people on Instagram? No, I'm just messing.
Not quite. One day though.
There you go. That's awesome. All right, man. Well, that's all I got. Again, super appreciate you taking time to be on the tour. Thanks for opening up the shop. I can't say thank you enough. We dropped off a little swag bag behind you that you're like, that's perfect timing. We needed some more of all of the above.
Yep.
Shout out to Echo, Stable, and Equip Expo. You're going to be at Equip Expo?
Of course, always, awesome. Every year.
All right,
and hopefully, I'm hopefully going to have my whole crew there this year.
Yeah.
So watch out for that. You might see a bunch of guys running around on Alder stuff.
Hey, man.
Little Aldrich army. So
that'd be awesome. And by the way, you're like the younger brother of Jeremiah Jennings, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, bro, if you stood these two next to each other, I think Jeremiah's 26, 27 maybe?
He's around there.
Something like that. Like you guys are 100% older brother.
I'm pretty sure we're like same height. Like,
bro, like doppelganger.
Like we're the same.
It's crazy.
It's funny.
We showed your dad. He goes, damn.
Yeah.
But so hey,
long lost brother.
But if you need to if you need to register the rest of your crew, we got a good code Brian. You guys save 50% registering for Equip Expo. Get your tickets, guys. Check out the Echo lineup. Check out the Stable products. We're going to be winterizing stuff here before you know it, especially in the Midwest. But I just want to say thank you to the tour sponsors as well for making this happen. So DJ, that's what I got, man. I'm going to get out of here and have a beautiful rest of the weekend, brother.
Yeah, you too. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Guys, let's kick it back over to Marty, Mr. Producer, and we'll button this thing up.
Entrepreneurs, you know the success of your business depends on your lawn care equipment. If it's not working, neither are you. Keep your mowers, blowers, and all of your other outdoor power equipment running smoothly on the power of the American-made Stable brand. Stable makes premium additives and performance chemicals that help you get the best out of your equipment so that you can return quality work to your growing list of customers. Products like 360 Protection will clean your mower's fuel system with one treatment, and Fast Fix will correct rough-running engines when you're in a pinch. The entire product line undergoes thorough testing, and they are backed by OEMs because they work together to develop industry-leading solutions. Head to stable.com, STA-BIL.com, because it's Stable, there's no off-season. Not as long as there's money to be made in the lawn care game. Hi, I'm Mr. Producer, and one more thing. If you're looking to stay up to date with the latest trends and insights in the world of lawn care, then you need our free email newsletter. It's delivered 3 times a week and includes a Monday motivational to kick off your week, a Wednesday what's new to keep you informed, and a Friday weekly recap of all the content we put out. Join our mailing list to stay connected to the world of lawn care and get exclusive access to the latest and greatest from Fullerton Unfiltered and Brian's Lawn Maintenance. Don't miss out on this opportunity to stay ahead of the curve and elevate your lawn care game. Sign up now with the link we've provided in the show description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.